Given that this is my first presentation, I thought I'd try and give you an overview of what Edward Hart does. Because we're a high street firm, we're opposite Brighton Pavilion, and there's about 25 of us, and we've got a number of departments, so I thought I'd break down our services into how we can help individuals and how we can help businesses. So we have a wills and probate department. They can assist with preparing wills or dealing with probate, and executing the will, and they can also deal with disputes from disgruntled people who've been left out of wills, and help with those. We also have a family department. That family department deals with all children issues, as well as divorce, dissolution of partnerships. But before that, they can deal with any prenups or anything like that. And then sort of up into my department, so the civil litigation department, I do a variety of things for individuals. So as you know, because I've talked a bit about it, I deal with personal injury incidents. So anyone who's accidentally driven into somebody, I won't help them, but I'll help the person that they drove into. Anyone who's had an accident at work. I also deal with professional negligence claims, which tends to be against other solicitors or accountants. So I help people with those on a no-win, no-fee basis. For our employment department, they will deal with things that, if it goes to a tribunal, so they'll act on behalf of companies and also employees if you've been unfairly dismissed. Big area of work that I deal with is landlords and property owners. So anyone who owns a property that rents out that property and they need their tenant evicted, or they're not paying rent, or they've got various issues at the property, dealing with people, like I said to you before, other people that have caused problems in properties, then I'll deal with that. Also the owners of freehold blocks. So if you're a freeholder, there's lots of lessees usually. It can be mixed use, commercial and residential, or just residential. There's often quite a lot of problems with those. People don't pay their service charges. I've got one at the moment whereby he just converted his ground floor flat into 2 flats without any permission at all. So the freeholder's not very happy about that, and the lessee won't do anything about it. So we're going to have to force him to do it, and if he won't do it, we'll forfeit his lease. So he obviously didn't read his lease as to what he's allowed to do and what he's not allowed to do. I also work with people who just have a property and they've got building disputes. So they haven't used someone like Shane and they've not done the job properly. So I've got one at the moment. They've paid £80,000 for a conservatory and they've handed over the money and the people have disappeared. So they've got loads of glass in their garden, and yesterday the pillars to support the conservatory fell down. So if you have spent £80,000 on a conservatory and paid for it before you got it, then that's something that I can also assist you with. Contract disputes for people. If you've bought something individual and you're not happy with the goods and services that you've received, or if your neighbours, you want to do any party wall awards, I obviously work alongside surveyors with that. And also, I mentioned this previously, owners of properties that aren't married or in a civil partnership, and one of you wants to sell that property and the other one doesn't, or one of you owns the property and the other one isn't on the title deeds but claims an interest. So there's quite a few bits and pieces that I do for individuals. For companies, we have a department that can incorporate a company for you, buy and sell companies, do directors' agreements and partnership agreements. I, for companies, do a lot of terms and conditions, so for a whole variety of industries, but also particularly website terms and conditions where you get a whole package. So it isn't the terms and conditions of your business, it's the terms and conditions of how people are allowed to use your website, why they're allowed to use it, a privacy policy and a cookies notice. They come as a package together. Also, as I mentioned earlier, for companies we'll deal with tribunal disputes if there's any running through there. Debt recovery is another big one that I do for companies. We do it on a fixed fee basis. We'll chase any debt right down from £50 right up to any larger debt. Usually if it's a larger debt, it'll end up in a dispute. Someone will say that you haven't provided the service that you're supposed to provide. So that is a quick general overview of what the whole firm does. Particularly for me, as I've said before, the good referrers to me are letting agents, because quite often landlords will say to them, do you know a property litigation solicitor that can draft some tenancy agreements for us or deal with a problem in a property? and also the block management companies or freeholders are good because there are always lessees that don't read their leases and take up the carpet. So they're great referrals to me, or just people in general with property disputes. So I don't know if anybody's, I've got 1 minute left, so I don't know if anybody's got any questions or wants any further details on that. No.
These people are with £80,000 on a conservatory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Referrals.
Yes, it's a very big conservatory. Not anymore.
How do you go about getting that back again? Just to pay the money across, and then the companies disappear. How do you then?
Well, the people haven't come back, but we've got a very good inquiry agent who we normally can track people down. The problem will be is if it's a company and they've just put the company into liquidation. But sometimes we can go after directors if they've acted fraudulently. We'll go after the person, but again, there's no point if they don't own anything. But quite often the director will own a house or something, so we can sue them and then put a charge on their house and then apply to sell their house.
Another question about. So it was just about the lessees. There's probably quite a few in the room. So if you own a property that's a flat that's part of a building, and you're a lessee, so you'd be part of the internal communication. So you might actually hear some potential internal issues which could be referred to you.